What's up? Welcome back into the Sports Information Podcast. We're in Season 2, Episode 3, Week 3 of the NFL, and we're full swing. We're full guns a-blazing. I'm your host, Hopkins, here to get you through another maybe painful, maybe exciting, depends who your fan base is, or depends who your team is, depends what fan base you're a part of, pardon me. And I'm here to get you through it. I'm going to talk you through the X's, the O's, through the Y's and the why nots, and I'm going to tell you what to expect. Recap week 2 of the NFL. Predict week 3. Producer questions, and we finally got some YouTube comments, so we're excited about that. We're going to jump straight into week 2 here. We've got Washington at Green Bay, and wow. First of all, Green Bay got it, nailed it, 1 for 1. Washington did put up a good fight. It wasn't until a little later that they started making some actual good plays, I felt. But Green Bay looked solid cover to cover, quarter to quarter, whistle to whistle, beginning to end. Green Bay looks solid through and through. That defense is just going to get better and better as the year goes on. I think they're going to have a chokehold on their division. Yeah, good pick by us. Bears at Detroit. This was a big one, right? We said it was a week 2 must-win for both teams. Divisional game. They both played a divisional game in week 1, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong on the Lions there, but I'm pretty sure the Lions, didn't they play Green Bay in week 1? Fact check that for me. But anyway, just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Anyway, the Lions and the Bears, we got way wrong. We said it was going to be Bears. We said we're going to ride with a team that lost in week 1 again in week 2. Wrong. Bad mistake. However, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Producer thumbs up. We were right. Both teams did play divisional games in week 1. So can't start 0-2 in the division through 2 weeks. Bears are now 0-2 in the division through 2 weeks. Their chances of winning the division are dead, essentially. So that's sad for Chicago fans. But here on the show, we feel fine about that pick, and we feel okay about losing it because Caleb Williams got better. Excuse the dogs in the background if we can hear that. Give me a thumbs up or down if we can hear that on the audio. Bears looked better from week 1 to week 2. Ben Johnson is actually a legit NFL coach, and that's very clear through the first 2 weeks. I hope you don't need to see more football from the Bears in order for that to be a proven fact to you. But, man, the Bears are still going to have another rough season. That's evident right away. So, hesitant to pick the Bears moving forward, especially against these tougher teams. They're probably going to fall in that 8-win category again, maybe even lower. Really wrong on the Bears. I'm not ready to say that I was wrong on Caleb Williams. I'm not ready to say that. Yeah, I'm not ready to say that I was wrong on Caleb Williams. No, I don't think I've been too high on him, but I'm not getting low on him either. I've never been too high, but I'm not going to get too low just yet. So we'll leave it at that. New York at Dallas. What a game. And Giants, I'm going to talk about your fan base a little bit later when I get to my Colts, so I'll leave you alone for now. But what a game by Russ. He just extended his timeline of remaining the starting quarterback in New York for sure. We'll touch more on that later, I bet. And Dallas, man, if you guys could get any kind of run defense, you might actually have a shot at winning your division too. Because Philly looks, we'll get to the Philly and Kansas City game, but I'll just say this about Philly since we're talking about the NFC East. They look vulnerable as well. So they could be got this year. If Dallas had any kind of run defense, that offense is great this year. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are a great duo. They help each other and complement each other a lot. Javonte Williams is crushing it. The O-line looks great. Dak looks great. Lot to be excited about in Dallas. Cleveland at Baltimore. Easy smash hit pick. Derrick Henry being next to not playing, being next to off the field entirely. That game was a surprise, but other than that, that game's exactly what we thought it was going to be. blowout in favor of Baltimore. This game was crazy, huh? But we got it right, San Francisco. So far, we are 1. I didn't do this before the show. Shame on me. 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1. Because we got this one right. We said New England over Miami. That was another week 1 loss that we rode with again in week 2. The Patriots. And Miami's that bad this year, guys. I told you. Okay? Now, they put up 27 points on the Patriots. Maybe the Patriots are going to be pretty bad too. But Miami is one of the bottom few teams in the league this year. They just are. Handful, bottom, that's them. Bottom handful. Jacksonville at Cincy. There's a little bit of a sweat, especially once Joe Burrow went down. But the Bengals got it, so we got that one right. What did I say that we were at? 5-1, 4-1, 1-1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-1, 7-1. Smash hit, dead right. Matt Stafford still top. Man, when healthy, he can make any throw in the league, man. Like, that guy's unreal. And at this age, what he's doing is just not, again, it's one of those things that's not talked about enough. Cam Ward, not talked about enough. That boy he made a play that really just put me on notice. A little cross-body, sidearm rocket pass. It was awesome. Matt Stafford had one too. Same game. So, credit to the quarterbacks. But again, got that right. So, 7-1. Wrong. We picked Pittsburgh. Hey, man, that's the Aaron Rodgers effect. That's the old Aaron Rodgers effect right there. That's what I'm going to chalk that up to, because no way Mike Tomlin loses that game in the past. Seattle, I don't know. Seattle and Pittsburgh, kind of weird teams this year. Going to be hard to pick against. Going to be hard to pick for. It's just weird, but got it wrong. 7-2. Buffalo at New York. Smash hit, just like the Ravens versus the Browns. So, not a lot to talk about there. 8-2. 9-2. Not a lot to talk about. Neither of those teams look any impressive. 9-3. Guys, here we are. Colts versus Broncos. That's my reaction to the game. How? And how are we going to keep this rolling? Oh my God. Jonathan Taylor had 200 and something, 240 yards or some shit, crazy total yards. It was awesome. An electric game. Missed the field goal. Oh, penalty on the defense. 15-yard penalty, move up, bang the field goal, win the game at home. Should have lost the game. Probably, right? But their defense, their special teams, Denver, you got to stay dialed in till the very last whistle. Lesson learned. I don't know what to say about Daniel Jones and what our chances of winning our division are with him, other than it's us and the Jags, baby. It's us and the fucking Jags, baby. Let's go. The Colts are officially in the hunt to win their division because they're finding ways to win games like this, and then they're also stringing together, like, if you're playing bad football against the Colts, they're able to string together a really good game, as we saw in week 1. You got to come correct to the Colts, against the Colts, and you got to pray that Daniel Jones falls off a cliff. But Giants fans, this is where I wanted to talk about you. I know y'all are sicker than a dog right now. I'm talking about hunched over the toilet, calling into work. Boss, I'm not going to make it. Gotta be, right? How do you have Russell Wilson throwing for 450, losing? Meanwhile, we got Daniel Jones, and we're 2-0. Mind you, Daniel Jones has had a historic start to a season here as a quarterback. I don't remember the stats. There's a couple ridiculous ones. He's now one of the only quarterbacks, or if not the only, to ever be a part of a team that's not had to punt or had any turnovers through their first 2 games. They had a turnover on downs, but that's not the same thing as a punt or a turnover. So that's a crazy stat. He's the first quarterback to ever open a game and score on every drive in the first game of the season. Scored on every drive against Dolphins. So, again, do I think it's sustainable? Hell no. Do I think we got a shot in our division if we play well? Hell yeah. And Giants fans, if you haven't called into work yet, do it. You deserve it. You deserve a day off. Next, KC hosting Philly. Super Bowl rematch. Okay. I don't want to really give a ton of takes on this game because I've got them, but everyone's got them. Everyone's got their own opinions and takes on this, right? Because it's two of the most popular teams in the league. So let me just leave you with these questions and maybe a couple takes. We'll see. If Kansas City is in a down year, and if they're fading and they're diminishing and their dynasty's over, if that's the narrative we're going to run with, what's happening to Philly? Why is it a 3-point game? Because it's on the road. If Philly's still the dominant Super Bowl powerhouse they were last year, and Kansas City's not the team that they were last year, where they're going to win 17 games or 16 games and win a bunch of one-score games, right? And they're not going to make it back to the Super Bowl. They might not win their division. If that's the narrative we're running with, we've got to hold weight on. We've got to hold that narrative then. And that standard has to move across. Whatever standard you judge this team with, you got to judge that team with, right? So I'm going to give some takes. I don't think that Kansas City is a surefire to make the Super Bowl. I don't think Philly is either. Through 2 weeks, do I like Philly's odds better than I like KC's? Sure. But the NFC also still looks worse than the AFC overall. The AFC teams are making some jumps, and they've got the better quarterbacks. And Philly's in a weaker division. All these things line up for Philly's favor, despite Philly and KC both clearly taking steps back, coming off their Super Bowl appearances, Philly coming off the win. Do I think both of these teams are still probably better than almost every team in the league, if not every team in the league? Yeah. Yep. So, do with that information what you will. We got the pick right. I don't know what that makes us. 9-3, 10, 11, 12. That's not right. We're going to have to do some math here. All right, live math. Let's see. Are we smarter than fifth graders? 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 7-2, 8-2, 9-2, 9-3, 10-3, 11-3, because we picked the Vikings, right? Oh, so that would be 11-4. I forgot. What an abysmal appearance by the Vikings. Yeah. Hey, question mark above J.J. McCarthy. Okay? Everybody that was screaming, he's here. I admitted he put together a clutch run. I said, we'll see if that's him waking up and that's who he is, or we'll see if he falls apart again. Man, fell apart again. Looked like doo-doo. Okay? And the Falcons, I told you guys. They'll probably be second in their division. They will be second in their division because the Bucs are going to win that shit. We'll get to that, too, in a minute. But, tough. So, 10-4. 12-4. 11-4. I don't think we're smarter than a fifth grader. I goofed the math again, right? 1-1 through those. So 1-1 through those two games. 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 7-2, 8-2, 9-2, 9-3, 10-3, 10-4, 11-4, 12-4. Who didn't play this week? It's only 15 games. Everybody played, though. Right? I don't know. Whatever. We're moving on. 11-4 official week 2 picks. That's pretty solid if you ask me. Did I miss a game? going to bother the piss out of me. We're going to check this again live. 1 and 1, 2 and 1, 3 1, 4 1, 5 1, 6 1, 7 and 1, 7 and 2, 8 and 2, 9 and 2, 9 and 3, 10 3, 11 3. Yeah, there it is. Or no, 10 4. That's what it is. 11 and 4, 12 and 4. 12 and 4. Let's rock. Week 3 picks. Let's jump right into it. Thursday night football. We've got Miami at Buffalo. That'll be tomorrow for all you watching. Guys, I hope I don't even have to explain this one. If you've listened at all, and even if you haven't listened, but if you've watched football, Buffalo by 1,000,000. Josh Allen might have less than 150 passing yards because they're going to beat them that bad and not have to throw the ball. Falcons at Carolina. Give me the Falcons. Michael Penix looks solid. Drake London's a stud. Bijan Robinson, stud. Darnell Mooney, really nice piece. Ray McLeod, solid. Kyle Pitts, supposed to be really good. I don't know. Give me the Falcons by a lot. Indy at Tennessee. Give me Indy. We're 3-0 to start the year. Lock it in. Cam Ward might have his best game of the season so far. He might also get shut down. We'll find out because the Colts defense, pretty solid this year. And Cam Bynum, awesome addition. Big fan. Pittsburgh at New England. Give me Pittsburgh. New York Jets at Tampa Bay. Guys, the bake show, the bake show, the bake show, the bake show. You think he's going to lose to the Jets? Give me the Bucks. L.A. Rams at Philly. Philly? That's a 1. You obviously already have a 2 on your schedule. You're 2-0. What do you think that 1 is? Your first loss. Give me the Rams. Matt Stafford. Puka Nacua. Maybe the best quarterback wide receiver connection in the NFL right now. Devontae Adams, gonna start picking it up. He's not gonna get worse, guys. He hasn't been bad either, but he's gonna start picking it up. Kyron Williams. He's good. He's solid. He's gonna get in the end zone. Watch. The Rams are legit, and they're gonna try and go prove that, and Sean McVay's hungry to get back on top of the NFC. Give me the Rams in week 3. Bengals at Minnesota. Guys, I don't know. Okay? Because J.J. McCarthy looked bad. But they're going back to Minnesota here. I don't think he's going to go 0-2 at home. So give me Minnesota. Since he's going to be deflated after losing Joe Burrow. They just came off a win against Trevor. Jake Browning stepped in, but a bunch of players stepped up big. We'll see.
J.J. McCarthy's out.
Oh, that's right.
They're starting Carson Wentz.
Yeah. I mean, give me Minnesota. I like Kevin O'Connell. And like I said, I really like the Minnesota defense. You can bet on Jettas just as much as you can bet on Jamar to be solid, to be consistent, to get the job done that you need to get done. So, yeah, we're going to rock with Minnesota here in week 3. Give me Houston and Jacksonville. Give me Jacksonville, guys. Like, they look good this year. Not Super Bowl contender good. They look make playoff good, for sure. They look good. If the Colts make playoff good, the Jags look make playoff good. Okay? Green Bay at Cleveland. Browns fans, guys, don't watch that one. Give me Green Bay. Las Vegas at Washington. Jaden Daniels has to figure it out, right? Got to help his team get a win here. But Vegas looks pretty solid this year. That's going to be a tough game. That might be a must-see game. Give me Washington at home. Give me Washington at home. Denver at LA. This should be a good one. This should be a good game. Sean Payton versus Harbaugh. Herbert. I'm not going to say versus Bo Nix. They're not in the same sentence. Man. The Chargers look good, too. Like, they're really playing good football. The offense is humming. And you guys, they're winning games in spite of rookies making crazy, silly mistakes. Rookies and second-year guys, like Ladd lining up in the wrong spot and Herbert having to burn a timeout and then re-explain it. Which, not a big deal. They've sorted it out as teammates, right? It's not a drama thing, but just a silly mistake that slows the game down, throws off your pace, throws off your cadence. You got to burn a timeout on it. And then Hampton fumbling the ball, giving a turnover. And they're still finding ways to win games handily. And it was a divisional game last week. It's another divisional game. This one's at home. Give me the Chargers. Give me the Chargers. New Orleans at Seattle. I got to go with Seattle. Chris Olave is getting a ton of volume, and if he's staying healthy, he might be a cool fantasy receiver to keep your eye on. But give me Seattle here. They're the better team. They've got the better quarterback for sure. I couldn't tell you whose coach is better. But give me Seattle. Arizona at San Francisco. We're going to rock with Arizona. San Francisco's just got too many injuries right now for me to like them. Even at home. Even if Kyle Shanahan's your coach and Christian McCaffrey's healthy. Those three things right there should probably have San Francisco at least as a 3.5-point favorite. Oh, 1.5 over here on the spread. Ooh, forgot we had those on the screen. That's solid. But give me Arizona. Give me Arizona on the road. Dallas at Chicago. Chicago's a 1-point favorite. Wow. I would love to take the Bears 3 weeks in a row here. I would love to think Caleb Williams is climbing the ladder at a fast enough rate, but he's not. I would love to think Ben Johnson is a great enough coach or a good enough coach to get this done, and he is. I would love to think that defense is going to be able to get through the Dallas O-line. I'm unsure. They could. They also could not. The Dallas O-line looks great. I believe in the Dallas offense. I think I believe in the Chicago defense. I don't believe in either side of it. I don't believe in the Dallas defense, and I don't fully believe in the Chicago Bears offense. So this is a tough one, truthfully. And as a 1-point favorite, there's not a lot of context in that. From what I've seen through 2 weeks, I should be picking Dallas. If I know anything about a team that's desperate for a win early and they're at home, that's not a good team or a fun team to bet against, especially a team with talent like they have on defense, like they have in their quarterback, right? Caleb's been making silly mistakes, especially when he gets off script. But hey, if he stays on script, they're cooking. Or maybe he gets off script, but it works for him this next game, right? Every dog has their day. And their offensive core is nice. Rome Odunze is nice. Running game struggles a bit. Give me Dallas. Lord have mercy. Give me the Cowboys. That's a tough pick. I'm going to watch it for sure. I'm not going to put it as a must watch, but KC at New York. Oof, give me the Chiefs. If the Chiefs go 0-3 and they lose to the Giants here on Sunday Night Football, even though it's on the road, I don't care if Russ throws for 450 yards again. If the Chiefs lose this game, they're definitely on huge red alert. Monday Night Football, Detroit at Baltimore. Give me Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore's definitely the better team here this year. Detroit just had a heyday on divisional opponent, but we're also going to chalk that up to the coaches knowing the other coaching staff way too well. And the Bears clearly not as good as Baltimore. So give me Baltimore here. They're 5.5-point favorites. See if we picked any dogs this week. Not a dog. I think we picked every favorite this week. Wow. We did. We managed to pick every single favorite. That's fine. No, we didn't. We picked an upset, right? Two of them right here at the end. What am I talking about? All right, cool. I feel good about myself now. I feel courageous. Okay, let's jump over to producer questions, and then we'll end with these YouTube questions, and we'll get out of here.
Okay, cool. First off, this is kind of a weird two-parter, but I'm sure you've seen like Tom Brady in the news a little bit, like sitting in the Raiders booth during the game, like
Yeah.
the coach's booth.
Yep.
So, I mean, first off, I think that's a really, really smart move. Like, if there's no rule on it, take full advantage. Like, I mean, that's the best player of all time. Like put him in the booth, let him help you out, let him, you know, tell you and your staff what he sees. But on the flip side, like, what is your opinion on coaches being in, or not? On owners being involved in the coaching process?
I think there's a fine line for sure, and obviously depending upon who the owner is. What the Colts owner is, what the new owners are doing, the daughters of the late Jim Irsay, I like it. I think that's wise. Put a headset on, pay attention to what your coaches are saying, doing, how they're playing, how they're calling plays. And she made a good point about if a receiver goes out there and runs a route and the ball's not where it's supposed to be and it's a wrong route, is it a wrong route or did the wrong receiver get tagged in the play call? And it's a coaching or a coordinator error, right? Those things matter. And you want to be sure when you go to make a business decision about who to hire, who to fire, who to promote, who to whatever, who to trade, you want to make sure you got the right personnel in mind. So in that regard, I think it's smart. I think it's, and to some capacity, should be necessary in order to run a successful team, franchise. Unless you're a guy like Brady, you probably don't need to be overstepping in coaching because so many of these coaches, and as a coach at a very different level and in a different sport entirely, but I know I wouldn't want somebody overstepping or constantly overlooking me, right? I'm just an assistant coach and a coordinator on the offensive side of our ball in lacrosse. But my head coach, he doesn't breathe down my neck. He asks what we're doing. He always has oversight, but it's not helicopter mom style, right? And if you're an owner, you can't be doing that. Maybe you go to your coach one-on-one or your coach, your OC, and your DC as an owner of a franchise, and you say, hey, let's sit down in the film room together. I'd love to talk about some things that I feel like I'm seeing. But then you also got to be open-minded to learn from the dudes that you've hired and trusted to run your team as a coaching staff. You've got to be willing to have those same two-way it's got to be a two-way conversation. You got to tell them what you see. You got to listen to what they see and learn from them because you're an owner. You're not a coach. And Tom Brady, even, was a player, not a coach. And now he's an owner. So, yeah, he brings valuable insight, and he probably gets more leash than any owner across the league to step in and tell coaches what he sees and what he thinks. But I think that's an incredibly fine line that you're either going to really rub your coaching staff wrong with and even the team wrong, or it's going to, like, it'll go well. But it's got to be a hard balance.
That's fair. This one's kind of just, I want to talk just your favorite players kind of ever. But Baker Mayfield's been absolutely electric in big moments. I mean,
Huge this year, dude.
It's only been
Huge.
2 games and 2 games into the year, and he's already given us what feels like, half a season's worth of, big time plays and moments.
Definitely.
But this is kind of a two-parter. So where do you see that offense kind of ranking, throughout the middle of the season, maybe to the end of the year? And then there's just a follow-up question. That's kind of off topic.
So I'd like to preface with not only is Baker Mayfield a dog and just downright a gamer. Dude's just a gamer. It's tough. He's competitive. plays with a fire and an attitude. But they've got a good core there. Mike Evans, all-time great receiver. Like all-time. Egbuka, great rookie. Great right now. Bucky Irving, a legit answer at running back. Good O-line. Good coaching staff. Good defense. They're set up for success for sure. Where I think that offense could fall, definitely top 10. Like, that's their potential and ceiling. Well, their ceiling is probably best in the league. Best offense in the league is their ceiling. Especially now that you're considering Joe Burrow's down, so that Cincinnati offense takes a step back. So you're looking at, let's look at elite offenses right now. And the Bills are going to have an elite offense on paper, statistically. Name-wise, no one really jumps off. Keon Coleman might become a household name at the end of this year. But Josh Allen is going to elevate that offense to a top 10 offense for sure. And their ceiling is best in the league. The Ravens have that ceiling of best in the league. The Bucs have that ceiling of best in the league. The Chiefs have that ceiling, but it's obviously not looking like it this year. Philly has that ceiling, but they have to utilize A.J. Brown more, and they've got to find better success in the passing game for that to happen. So your three teams right now early that look like could have best offense in the league if they play well. The Bucs, the Ravens, the Bills, in my opinion. If you wanted to say the Rams too, I'd listen to it. Maybe the Colts. But yeah, I mean, I feel great about the Bucs. I feel great about my takes of them winning 10 games this year, winning their division. Baker, man. Yeah.
It's fair. Okay, my follow-up question, like I said, it's kind of off topic, but obviously Baker, like, things didn't work out with him in Cleveland, and then he kind of had, like, a career revival in Tampa Bay. So do you have, like, a favorite all-time, like, revival career? Or, like, a player that you really liked at one spot, he was doing really, really well, and then ended up getting traded, and you were, I don't know.
Off the top of my head, not really, because I'm always that guy that gets bummed when players get traded in the NFL. Unless they get, I mean, I've never really cared when it's not someone from my team. The only time I care about trades in the NFL is always my team, and it's devastating because it's dudes like Edgerrin James back in the day, or when we let Peyton Manning walk or traded him or whatever we did. Gosh dang it.
I mean, Daniel Jones has to be at the top of the list right now.
That's gonna be one of my favorite revival stories. We didn't get him in a trade per se, but yeah, that's a good revival story. That's a cool story. Antonio Brown's another one where it's like he didn't really revive anything, but just that he went somewhere else and still found success. Randy Moss is a cool one. He never got over the hump of winning the Super Bowl, but he and Tom Brady were crazy together.
Yeah, that was I mean, I don't care who your quarterback is. If you have Randy Moss, just be ready to win football games.
I guess thinking about it, Peyton Manning is a cool revival story. I was happy to see him win another Super Bowl after, he's too old and injured now. Colts got to let him go. Like that devastated me as a child. So seeing him win as another Super Bowl was cool. Anything else?
Yeah, I got one more. Who's your biggest disappointment of the season so far, team-wise?
Honestly, probably the Chicago Bears. They just haven't strung it together like I thought they would. Caleb hasn't quite shown the growth that you need to see out of your quarterback, pre-snap especially, and even just sticking to the script, trusting in your coaching staff and what they've got. You don't have to scramble. You don't have to move out of the pocket to make a play. It's just frustrating. So I say that as if I'm a Bears fan. I would say them. I expected the Chiefs to not look as dominant as they did last year in terms of winning everything. So this 0-2 start doesn't shock me to my core by any means. So I wouldn't say I'm disappointed in the Chiefs, really. What about you?
Honestly, the Panthers.
Panthers.
I just want to see Bryce Young succeed. I want to see Ted McMillan succeed. I love Xavier Legette. I think that dude is funny as heck. But I don't know. I'm really just, there's a lot to be desired there. And really with the Vikings, like I've been invested in JJ McCarthy since they drafted him last year. And to see him, go down with another injury only at week 2 of his sophomore campaign that is really his freshman campaign. Like that just deflates you as a franchise.
Yeah. Yeah, the Panthers fan base has got to be sick. They've been stuck in purgatory for forever. Guess I should count my blessings, even though my blessings involve Daniel Jones, which feels like a false bottom. It's just going to fall out at any moment. Moving on to YouTube questions. But before that, we're going to jump back to the screen, and I got to give you guys must-see TV game of the week. Must-see TV game of the week is, pat your drums, do your thing, psh, crash the cymbal. It's the Rams and the Eagles. 1 o'clock on Sunday on Fox. Philly -3.5. Fade it. Book the Rams. All right. Jumping over to YouTube questions. We got Jay Bates 2011. Thanks for tuning in, pal. Panic in KC, question mark. Give me your take on the Chiefs and if they'll bounce back / make the playoffs or if they're on the decline. All right. Well, I kind of already touched on that, actually. But no, I don't think that it's time to panic. I think it's time to panic if you lose to the Giants, right? So you're on a must-win week, but I don't think it's time to panic. They certainly could miss the playoffs. It's on the board for the first time in the Patrick Mahomes era. It is also on the board that they still find a way to win their division and make the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. So, yeah, that's... no, they're not on the decline. Are they going to be worse than 16-1? Yeah. So if that's on the decline, sure. But are we sounding the alarms? Is the sky falling? No, not yet. You lose to the Giants, we'll start talking about it. Sky might not be falling, but it might be getting lower. Another one from @JBates 2011. Give me the top 5 QBs right now. Who would you take to go win you a Super Bowl? One game. Who you got? Right now, everybody in the league. Give me Daniel Jones. No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding. But I had to let it fly. Give me Patrick Mahomes. I'm going to give a lot of respect right here. I don't think this guy is the second best quarterback in the league. But I got to go win a Super Bowl. Give me Patrick Mahomes. Give me Jalen Hurts. Well, let me get to my guys. Give me Matt Stafford. Give me Josh Allen. I don't care that he doesn't have a ring yet. You know why he doesn't have a ring yet? Because Mahomes has them all. And if he doesn't have the ring, he's got the appearance. So Josh Allen hasn't been able to get over the Mahomes mountain yet. Hasn't been able to get over the Mahomes hump. When he does, oh my Lord, we're in for a treat when we see Josh Allen in the Super Bowl. 5th quarterback? Golly, man. If I've got the rest of the pieces in play, there's a lot of people that you would want to pick, right? Lamar, Dak's even a good option. Justin Herbert might be a legit option. Baker, big Baker guy on the show, as you know. But give me Joe Burrow. That man's healthy. He's as good as any leader. He's as good as any quarterback when it comes to making pre-snap adjustments, making the right read, taking care of the ball. I mean, yeah. So those are my top 5 right there. And in order, we're probably looking at Mahomes, Stafford, Allen, Burrow. You probably got to give the nod to Burrow over Allen, but I'm going to give my nod to Allen. Bigger believer there. But yeah, Mahomes, Stafford, Allen, Burrow, Hurts. Hurts has to be in there because he's gotten to 2 Super Bowls in 4 seasons. He's just great. So, got to be in there. All right, that's a wrap for tonight. Tune in next week for more picks, more takes, more recaps. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Send it to all your friends.